Hey everyone, welcome to the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, the show where the team from UrbanVinylDaily.com tells you everything there is to know about the art, street art, designer toy, and Sofubi world. I'm your host, Travis Likens.
And I'm the token nerd, Anthony.
Yep, Ben is on vacation again. Apparently, I am paying him too much because he's been on vacation twice out of 6 episodes.
Well, at least he gets paid.
Apparently. But anyway, this is episode 6, and we're calling it the Token Crossover. And here's why. We also host a podcast called Token Nerd, a show. If you want to do the little read-in, I guess.
Oh, the Token Nerd podcast where we ramble on about geeky things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars. I'm the host, Anthony Pettiford, and Travis here is usually my co-host, and every week we go through the high points, the low points of what's going on in the geek news and the geek culture. We go through movie news, TV news, video game news, comic news, and then toy news, but not to the extent of this show.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we just do specific Funko news.
Yeah, so that's kind of Token Nerd, and what brings him here today is we wanted to have kind of a guy that doesn't really know a lot about designer toys. He's been on the peripheral because he has to talk to me all the time, but it's a new set of eyes, I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah, no clue. So
yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to run down the news, and we'll just start right off with toy news, as we always do.
take me down the rabbit hole.
And the first thing in toy news, again, is not toy news.
Oh.
Yep. It's something based on a toy, though, so that's why it's in toy news. So the artist BuffMonster, as we had previously reported on the weekly wrap-up, has announced details regarding the Mr. Melty Candle that we did show in the previous episode. So that item will be releasing today, June 23rd, at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at The Shop. Yes, The Shop in NYC. And the piece will be limited to 40 pieces worldwide. Costs you $75, and it stands 5.5 inches tall. Or 5 inches tall, I'm sorry. And it will come packaged in a nice wooden box. So it'll come, with some nice padding inside of it, so it's not a candle bouncing around in there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool piece. I mean, it's based on the vinyl figure that came out a couple of years ago. It's still shows up from time to time in the soft vinyl world. It's a cool figure, a cool thing. My only thing, and this is just me being cheap, I guess, is 75's a little bit steep for a candle.
Yeah, it's a hefty number for something that's only going to last you so long.
Yeah, it's intended to burn. So,
It'd have been cool if it was like one of those. There was a mold for it, and they put the candle on, and as the candle melts, it melts back into the
mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, $75.
Yeah. I mean,
cool looking figure though. I saw an image of it.
As a piece of art, if you were never going to burn it and you were going to keep it forever, thumbs up. If you're planning on burning it as it's potentially intended to be, 75 is a bit steep. I can get a candle for a little cheaper. But if you're into collecting it as a piece of art, I mean, it's pretty limited at 40 pieces. So
yeah, if solely for, like for instance, my grandma collects candles and she has tons of them. But like if it's as a piece of art, it's a really cool wax figure. I mean, the fact that it looks like a candle is really cool.
So we'll see. If you want to get it though, make sure to head over to The Shop. If they don't sell out there, I'm sure they will be on buffmonster.com as well. Probably, I believe, either tomorrow or later in the week. So make sure to follow at BuffMonster, and I'm sure he'll tweet you out the time and place when it's going to be available. Moving on, though, we have yet another MimiMonster release. If you've been watching the show, it seems like a new one comes up every week because this figure is another one of those soft vinyl pieces that is traveling around from artist to artist, and they've been customizing them. So up on the block today is Violence Toys. Violence Toys, they have their own line of figures, but they also customize other things from time to time. And today, they have created 13 one-off versions of Tan's MimiMonster, the approximately 5-inch tall figure. It's 5.5 inches tall. Sorry, that's where I mixed up earlier. They will each be available for $140 starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time this Saturday, which is the 25th, 25th. Yes, 25th. They're very cool pieces and a great chance to get one-of-a-kind customs because each one is different. Anthony checked them out earlier, so I'll ask him which one was his favorite.
My favorite actually was the cotton candy themed one. Not themed, but it had cotton candy like colors. They were very light baby blue and baby pink. This is the one piece that I saw that I was like, okay, for $140, there's only 13 figures total, and each one was hand customized. They were really cool looking.
So for somebody that doesn't know what soft vinyl Sofubi is, what do you think of the overall aesthetic of the strange looking figure that is the MimiMonster?
Not my cup of tea, but there's definitely that market for it. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things that as many and since you're a pop collector, you'll probably understand this. You start out and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy this thing. For me, that was a dunny. For you, that was a pop figure. Next thing you know, you buy something else, and then something else, and then something else. And the next thing you know, you fall down the rabbit hole and you're collecting soft vinyl. That's kind of a lot of people get to soft vinyl that way because it tends to be a more Eastern Japanese, inspired thing. So it's not something that you just see hanging out on the street corner, generally in America, where you might run into a dunny or a pop figure. So it's kind of like people get to this a lot of times, or, some people, that's all they collect. So depending on where you came from. But if it's something you're interested in, make sure to check out violencetoy.com this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and hurry because these MimiMonsters have been going quick. So I might try to grab that cotton candy one myself. So we'll see. Awesome. But moving on, we have news coming our way from Paper and Plastic, the Florida, I believe, based store. They have announced that they will be releasing the next 6 months of their skull and monkey resins. The skull editions will be based on birthstones, so things like diamond and things like that. And the monkeys will be based on zodiac signs, so different colors each month. And if you want to subscribe to those, they're $120 each, so each subscription costs you $120. They're available at paperandplastic.limitedrun.com. And you need to jump on that before the 24th, because after that, no more. That's it. So these are cool. Small little pieces, nice things to sit on your desk. Skulls. Who doesn't like skulls? I mean, some people, I guess, but.
So you said that it was $120 for each subscription, or like for the whole thing?
The way I gathered it, each subscription. So if you wanted the monkeys or the skulls, each one was $120.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you wanted to get both, you'd be spending $240. But I'm going to assume that one might appeal to somebody more than the other one, so they may want one or the other.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it on that news. But we also have news coming our way from a Luke Chu and Monkey King. SDCC. You ever heard of it?
I think I have. San Diego Community College?
Something like that. I think there's more people that go to this than San Diego Community College. I don't know their numbers or if a San Diego Community College actually exists, but there's a lot of people that go to San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, duh. Yeah. Sorry.
So Luke Chu and Monkey King are teaming up once again to release a new version of their Headspace figure. This time it is the Boba Fett version. You may remember was announced for DesignerCon but didn't actually come out until later. They had a Darth Vader version of this figure, and now we're getting the infamous Star Wars character Boba Fett. So the figure features Boba Fett's head on the Headspace body, which is Luke Chu's bear, removing his head mask, revealing Boba Fett, as you can see in the photos. So far with this one, they haven't released a whole lot of info yet. So we're really just kind of seeing the photos so far. So we don't know like the limited amounts or how much they're going to be, or if there's going to be pre-orders, but we'll hope that they're going to hold some back for us fans that cannot make it to San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, so we'll hope they'll hold some back, but it's a very cool looking figure. What did you think there, Anthony?
I actually really like this piece. Like you told me before, like you explained it to me. So each figure of this is the same body with a different head. And who doesn't like Boba Fett to even have on your shelf for display? So this is one that I was like, yeah, I kind of hope there are some like left over that they have to sell to the population that can't make it to SDCC.
Yeah, and I mean, Anthony's been limited experience with Luke, but it's still a very appealing look. I feel like it's not too far out there. People walking by be like, oh, that's cute. It's a bear.
Yeah, it's soft on the eyes.
And it's got a Boba Fett. So it's kind of, Star Wars people, Boba Fett, there it is. But as we learn more information, we'll make sure to cover it either on here or on the blog. So as always, you can check those kind of things out. Our final toy news of the week comes our way from Full Blown Inc. Their Cronus Magnus Kickstarter is now on Kickstarter. If you're wanting some exciting news, we also have an exclusive call cast with one Eric Smith from Full Blown Inc. to talk about this. But we wanted to feature it on this show as well and tell you that you can currently grab the 10.5-inch tall figure for $100 for the figure base, but they also have awesome reward levels that include things like original art from Comic Person. This is up Anthony's alley.
Daryl Banks.
Yes, right up his alley. Toy guy Jeff Lamb, famously known for his grease bat. Many other folks are involved in this, but there's different levels, including things like stretch goals for a different colorway of the figure. So if you happen to be interested in a Shogun style figure, head over to Kickstarter and search for Cronus Magnus. It's the only one out there. You'll find it. And back this project so we can see this toy be made so it can be with the Volcura that already exists, and these two can battle it out.
Because every hero needs a villain.
There you go. Every hero needs a villain.
I mean, but just to briefly talk about this piece, I know, but I love the quote. I'm not sure that's exactly how he phrased it, but we actually talked about this several episodes ago on Token Nerd.
Yeah, when the project was originally on Indiegogo, and he did end up moving to Kickstarter, not because of the project failing, because the project, there was some confusion in the terms of Indiegogo, and so he decided to pull the plug and move over to Kickstarter. But continuing on.
I just wanted to just point out quickly that I love the way this figure looked. This was, and I know you just talked about the Luke figure too, but this is one that I actually really, really want. This is one where I'm actually pulling money to support him so I can have the figure so we can display it perfectly in our background on future shows.
And for you, like, these kind of fit in. I mean, you're you're an anime fan, and this style of these figures fit right in with your view of, like, TV and cartoons and whatnot.
Gundam, Ultraman,
Voltron.
Voltron.
Okay.
Not
Ultron.
I was like, Voltron.
Voltron.
That's a little bit of a stretch into the Marvel world.
With a V. Okay, so, but, make sure to head over to Kickstarter, back this project, and make sure to tell all your friends, even if you can't back it, share it on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Anything can help get the word out about this project, and anything can help make this project happen. So,
support.
Yeah, support. So that kind of wraps up toy news for this week. We wanted to keep it a little bit brief, but we also have some art news coming our way. UVD, aka me, went to Richmond, Indiana this weekend to check out a awesome Blink-182 concert.
Lucky.
Yeah, so got to see the new lineup there, but I digress. One thing I learned in Richmond is that Max242, the artist, created the event poster for the Big Field Day, which is what Blink-182 was performing at. And that is currently available from Fighting for Dreams. If you head over to their site, you will be able to pick that up for $50. And it's a very cool piece that features a skull, and it talks about Blink-182, and it has some lyric quotes at the bottom. Very, very, very cool thing. I bought one because I'm went to the show, and I'm a big Blink-182 fan, so I was like, hey, I got to grab this. But also while we were there, we traveled downtown, and we started walking around, and we forgot about the fact that Richmond, Virginia is home to the Richmond Mural Project, put on by none other than Art Wino.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's tons of murals in Richmond created by people like Ron English, David Flores. Let's see, D-Face was there. I've seen some incredible jerk face. I saw a bunch of stuff. So we just wanted to take a second to talk about how awesome it is, that this project exists, so you can see these artists all in one city. But also, I mean, it's not a city that people would think, hey, this city's known for street art. So it was kind of really cool when I walked up to a restaurant there, and I was like, hey, that's a David Flores. And I was like, holy crap, I forgot all about the Richmond Mural Project. And like, then I was just like, oh, I got to go check out all these pieces. So we drove around and, checked out a bunch of the pieces. But I just wanted to take a second to point it out. Many of you that are from the area may not also realize that it's there. Or people that are traveling through, that's something you could definitely check out if you were driving through, or if you had a long layover on a plane. Go out, check out the city, see things from Ron English, D-Face, all these other people that are there. Oh, Woes, another great example. But I just wanted to talk about that for a second and, let you know.
You took a lot of pictures on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, I put some pictures. They're going to be in the video that's probably scrolling around right now. So if you...
oh, there they are. I see them.
Yep. This guy, I can't see them, but, they're there. But that kind of wraps up what I wanted to talk about with the Richmond Mural Project. But if you want to check it out, I checked out the hashtag Richmond Mural Project. There's a ton of stuff there. You can learn more from Art Wino's website, which I believe is artwino.com. But next on the art news side of things, we do have some other news we reported on earlier. We gave you a teaser shot. Just a tease, teaser shot of J.C. Rivera and Gallery F's next release, which has released. So, yeah. So Pizza Party, which is a print featuring the Bear Champ, JC's iconic character, eating a slice of pizza. Who doesn't love pizza?
I know 4 turtles who love pizza.
I still blame that show for my love of pizza. It hit me right at that right age. I was like, oh, pizza, that's what everybody eats all the time, right? So this piece was right up my alley, and it's actually a 18 by 24 inch print featuring the Bear Champ eating the pizza, like we said. It's $50, and you can currently grab it right now from galleryf.com. Make sure to head over there, pick it up for your collection if you're a fan of pizza, Bear Champ, or both, because it's a pretty sweet piece. And the piece was originally created, I believe, as a painting, then became a mural, and now has become a print. So it's all over the place.
So this is going to be a limited print, or will there be...
I
obviously
believe
it's not going to be unlimited.
It is limited. I did not see the number when I was on the site,
Okay.
what it is limited to. But if you want to get it, you probably should go grab it, because JC and Gallery F both do pretty well in Chicago. So I'm sure those are flying.
Okay.
So $50, grab it.
Not bad at all.
Now we're going to kind of move into a little bit of event news. We have news coming our way from our friends in Detroit. Interstate Gallery, they're opening 2 shows this weekend. Count them, 2.
Dos.
And there's some cool facts about this show, these 2 shows. One, first up, called Post Colonial by Askew One. It's the New Zealand artist who is returning actually for their 2nd show at Interstate Gallery in Detroit. That's cool. Features it's amazing artwork. I can't even describe it. You're seeing the pictures right now. It is amazing. I absolutely love it. The other show that will be opening at the same time is called Semi-Natural. Features the artwork of Beastman, which it's important to note. This is the artist's first ever show in the United States. So if you happen to be in Detroit, be a part of history. Be a part of this artist. It's this artist's history. It's the first time he's ever been in America. And that's a problem. I'm assuming a big step for this guy. So as far as wanting, getting a bigger market and growing his fan base. So
having an international showing.
Yeah. To have an international showing. That's always awesome. So if you happen to be in Detroit, make sure to head down, check it out. You can grab some food from the market there. It's not too far away, a couple blocks. And then check out an awesome show, which they always have great turnouts. So you don't want to pack it in. Other event news is an upcoming show from Gallery F. So we have another piece of Gallery F news coming our way, this time from the artist Sentrock. His show, Bird Masks and Hood Dreams, will be opening July 1st, with an opening reception being held from 6 until 10 p.m. And it will feature new original work from the artist, inspired by his youth growing up in Phoenix, Arizona. So the artist, Sentrock, now currently resides in Chicago. And when he was growing up, he grew up in Phoenix, and that's where his Moaklear Bird City Saint comes from. So these pieces will pay homage back to that.
That's cool.
So if you're not familiar with Sentrock, he has a ton of pieces featuring his character, which wear bird masks. Mm-hmm. So that's where the title kind of comes in. And it's very cool to see him getting a solo show. I'm still looking to pick up a piece from him, so I'll be definitely watching the preview list, see how things shake out as far as cost, and if there's one there that just sings my name. I've been waiting for the perfect piece to add to my collection.
Wow. So, and like you said, it pays back to him where he grew up. So Phoenix. So it's in Chicago, but
yep.
Okay.
And homage back to his, where he came from
and where his
roots.
Inspiration came from.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So if you happen to be in Chicago on July 1st, make sure to walk over, check it out, catch a train, whatever you got to do,
Trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah. So, but that's all we got this week for UVD Weekly Wrap Up. We do have the special piece that we have a separate video from our friend Eric Smith. He's talking about his Cronus Magnus Kickstarter. Lots of cool information, kind of explaining the project, where it's been, where it's going, and talking about what inspired the design and everything. So cool little piece. If you want to check it out, make sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Or big news for UVD Weekly Wrap Up. We are now on iTunes.
Woo!
Kind of. Well, we are on iTunes, but the way you got to get to us is you actually have to subscribe to Token Nerd.
That's us. Our
podcast. If you subscribe to Token Nerd, you will get Token Nerd and the UVD Weekly Wrap-Ups. Really what it comes down to, we were already hosting Token Nerd, and we want to make sure that people have both the options. We have the comic news, movie news, TV news, and now we got the art side and toy side of things as well. So
we cover all the bases.
I think we have a wonderful combination of all things nerd.
Yeah.
In one spot. So we're calling it the Token Nerd Network. If you go over to iTunes and type in Token Nerd, you will find it. You can subscribe there. You can also find us on Podbean, tokennerdpodcast.podbean.com. And you can subscribe there or, through their app that they have. We are also found on Stitcher. Just search for Token Nerd and you will find both UVD Wrap Up and Token Nerd Podcast. Far as UVD, you can always check us out on our site, urbanvinyldaily.com, where we cover everything that we talk about here, plus a whole lot more. And you can always check us out on Instagram, where we're running things like contests right now going on, the Toonstar Bank contest. Make sure to head over to Instagram, look for the photo of Ben and myself holding some banks. If you repost that image with a hashtag and you like Urban Vinyl Daily on Instagram or follow, you will be entered to win with the hashtag. So
that's exciting.
Yeah. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to keep an eye out for Token Nerd when you're subscribed to us on iTunes. Yeah. You can always follow us at token_nerd, where we have contests sponsored by none other than TenaciousToys.com. Our friends over there have hooked us up, and we will be giving away awesome Funko Pops along with awesome Token Nerd gifts. If you want to check that out, check out our Instagram or check out our podcast, where we will talk about what we're actually giving away.
Yeah, but speaking of Tenacious Toys, we actually have a special deal with them for any of those who are interested in Funko. For all your Funko purchases, if you enter the promotion code TOKEN10, you can get 10% off that entire purchase.
That is
token purchase or Funko purchases.
Yes, Funko purchases. That is TOKEN10. That's the code you need.
Yes.
So, if you're into Funko, we got you deals. Don't forget it. So, but that wraps up the episode. So, as always, I'm Travis.
I'm Anthony.
And always have a great designer toy day. Hey everyone, this is Travis Likens from Token Nerd Podcast, and I'm here today to tell you something about sponsorship. That's right. Token Nerd now has a sponsor. The fine folks at TenaciousToys.com, your source for designer toys, pop vinyl, original art, and more, are now our sponsor. And guess what? As a part of that, you can get 10% off your next order at TenaciousToys.com by entering the code TOKEN10 at checkout. That's right, 10% off. And not only are they giving you this code, They're also going to be sponsoring many of our Token Nerd giveaways in the next coming months. So make sure to follow us at token_nerd on Instagram to catch our latest giveaways.